Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. And when last we left off, we completely explored floor 13 of this dungeon, and we've helped the Vithrak, who will go back to their home and hopefully figure out how to grow Ardra. Anyway, we can go now is even deeper down into the depths. So let's go to floor 14. Scouting mode is indeed incredibly useful. I've been using it a lot. This is a very, very small floor. Very small. And there appears to be some remains there. Let's go this way first. This way leads to... Oh, is that the master staircase? That is the master staircase. So now we can go all the way from Od Nua, all the way down to floor 14. We are very, very close to the bottom of this statue. Very close. Also, I like the fact that there's this little bit here to show all the many ways that you head up. We don't want to go this way. We instead want to go this way. And sneak.
I'm here.
I want all the warning I can get for what's to come. First off, I want to grab, some Ardraban and a suit of fine hide armor. Very nice. Is there anything else here? There probably is. There's also this, a giant...
I'm here.
Shard of Ardra that we can interact with.
I'm here.
I think we might have found Od Nua. Or at least...
Quietly now.
What remains of Od Nua. And all of his followers that to the bitter end defended him. But before we have a conversation, I'm going to look around.
Interesting.
See if there's anything for us to get. Like a broad... Ooh! A broad belt of power! Aptly named, this belt is comprised of a broad span of boiled leather joined in front by a silver buckle. Arcane spells have been forged into the material, and it grants those who wear it undeniable strength and a newfound sense of determination, which, even if it is induced, can rouse even the meekest of individuals to action. That is something extraordinary, and we've accidentally put it in our stash, haven't we? There it is. I'd like to hold on to that, because currently I'm wearing one that gives me a DR Pierce bonus and a slash bonus. We don't want that. What we want is more resolve and more might. Now, we wearing something that already gives us resolve. Athletics. Of resolve 2. Well, we don't need this ring anymore, because we can now wear this. So it's of resolve. You are wearing one that gives you that. You're not wearing one at all. Well, you're not likely to get into melee. You are, though. There is a of resolve ring here. Who's not wearing a ring? You're not wearing rings. Well, I'm about to solve that. You can have that and you can have that. And I'm going to find a ring for you. So, if we go into this, we have this ring, which gives us a grants suppress affliction. We have this ring that gives you 25 defense against hobbled, stuck, and paralyzed attacks. That's not bad. Honestly, I'm gonna wear that ring. That ring seems like a good ring. But now, if we check our characteristics, our might is 19, which is pretty impressive. Very impressive. Now I'm going to keep looking around.
Absolutely.
There is a barrier there preventing us from going further down. We're going to have to interact with this Ardra shard that inevitably contains Od Nua before we can go deeper.
I'm here.
To what may very well be the final level. But let us say first, was I right to give Lirin that belt?
I'm here.
Maybe, maybe not. But either way, we're going to have a chat. Notice the body in the gem there. The shade emerges like a wound in the world, split open to reveal a hollow darkness. Beneath a writhing crown of shadow lies a gleaming mask, bearing the visage of an older man. The silver face turns towards you, features cold and still. From within the sockets of the mask's eyes, guttering fires emit their eerie light.
Who are you? Would you abandon your king? Take up your sword! To battle! The enemy has come!
His voice seems to reverberate through the chamber. The mask's eyes burn with sudden new light, even as the room around you seems to grow darker. I don't think there is a battle.
It was lost long ago. This battle, and more. You are no lost soul of mine. No soldier.
Roiling eddies of darkness surge at the shade's feet, and it rises into the air, the glinting mask angling itself towards you.
But you see them. What remains of them? As the Mad One did before you. As I do. My subjects. My people.
You built the endless paths. You're Od Nua.
The endless paths. 1,000 hands toiled to create it. But it was my voice, my will, that directed them. The great work of our age.
Or it would have been, if they had only allowed me to finish. If they understood that from such rotted foundations could emerge wondrous achievement. That the same curse I sought to cure afflicted them in turn. That my son might, from one moment to the next, be lost to me is abomination. His voice thickens with grief, reverberating through the chamber. He wants only that I should be proud of him. How can a father convince his son that he might accomplish nothing, and still be the light of his life? How, if he is gone? So many hours and days spent wondering. If I had been there but a moment earlier, if I had stopped him from leaving that morning, if I had only known that I would never see him again.
Lost. Treading these endless paths, these regrets, with him forever moving out of reach, into some darker place, away from me.
He's stricken with grief, even now.
Have they loved nothing in all their lives? Lost nothing! Wives, husbands, children! Might I not show them then the agony of it?
Od Nua's shade shudders, and the very shape of him seems to warp and twist. The tines of his dark crown grow long, and the surface of his mask ripples like molten metal. I understand your grief, but why all this? It did not start so. How could it? I was mad with grief. I summoned workers, mages, servants. We plunged headlong into our quest. I could not see for tears. And at first, nothing. Feeble efforts, false starts, days of nothing. And all the while I was certain I was losing time. I gave permission that we should try new methods, that we should bolster our knowledge of the soul. And with these barbarous acts we began at last to learn, to find the edges of that veil. My people told me they could find my son, but still we had not the means of extracting him, safe, intact. So Od Nua was basically the catalyst for animancy. And at last, when the discovery was at hand, we were betrayed. All that we had paid, the lives lost, the taint upon our souls, all for nothing. They destroyed the Titan, cleaved him from his roots.
I will never see him again. Even in death, we have been more wholly separated than if I had never known him. He will have forgotten me. Have I not paid? Have they not cost me all I had?
So the Titan connected to an even deeper vein of Ardra. But the attackers severed it. And now the Titan is all alone. Perhaps your son's spirit still remains here somewhere. You think the possibility does not rule my thoughts? I have been bound, as surely as if they had intended it. It is an irony I have reflected upon for longer than you have walked the world, and now you think to counsel me? You mean to stay here forever? I will stay until the sun falls into the sea if I must. My time will come. I will have what I want. Perhaps it's time to let go. I have tried! His cry echoes through the chamber. I cannot! The regret burns within me like fire. It eats all thought. As if in answer, fire laps at the edges of his mask, sending a wave of heat towards you. You come after all this time to tell me I must forget? I will not. I must not. I am all that remains. If I forget, then there will be nothing left of him. You don't have to forget. Only to forgive yourself.
No! It is not my doing. It cannot be so simple. I will drive the invaders from the halls. I will go down those final steps, and there, finish my great work. None will stop me.
I think if we go along the line of talking about invaders, he will see us as what we technically are, invaders. But all of this was done for his son, and we need to try and keep him focused on that. And we also need to mention something else. You lose yourself each time you try to leave. Don't you see? Lose? Am I to lose all that remains? When I have already spent an eternity in regret? You think to fool me! It's not a loss. Only a path to something new. The dark shape of Od Nua's spectre shudders and heaves. The air around you grows cold until frost has begun to form across the tiles. The shadow seems to draw light to itself, threatening to plunge you into darkness.
End then. At last.
And then at last, the glowing embers of Od Nua's eyes gutter, dimming. His form seems to unravel, darkness ceding way to frail light, and then fading entirely.
Morals.
And he is gone. He has moved on. To what, we do not know, but hopefully, in the future, he will reunite with his son. We have gained the Shroud of Mourning. The rough texture and faded colour of this cloak suggests that it is ancient. The symbols and runes along the edges indicate Anguithan origins. Scholars of Anguithan culture have translated an old story about a father driven mad with grief by the death of his son. He entered a permanent state of mourning, donning the traditional garb of the bereaved and locking himself in his keep. The story suggests that he performed horrific experiments upon the living in an effort to resurrect his dead son. His mourning clothes were said to be infused with power as a result of these experiments. This has +3 resolve. It's a really good cloak. Who likes resolve? You like resolve. You like resolve a lot. This, for the moment, is a cloak for you. You're currently using that one, and that's got a reflex bonus of 1. That's of resolve 2. You can wear this and have of resolve 3. And we can give you this ring because why not? Can't hurt. And we can give you a different ring. How about a ring of... What about this one? Will I ever remember to use it? I'm unsure.
I'm here.
But what I do know is that we've avoided what would probably have been a quite difficult fight. I imagine Od Nua still has some spirits here that linger, that are loyal to him, and they absolutely would have obeyed his call to arms once more. But now he's gone. But I do not think he was the master below, because there was a barrier here that is now gone. And I think next time we'll head down there. Next time we will. So, when we come back, folks, we will descend down to the 15th floor of Od Nua, to the last floor of Od Nua, and see who the master below is. I get the feeling that whoever it is not going to be happy to see us. Not one bit. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.